Hey, the question that we have today is TranzactCard pivoting away from their original vision. That's the question that I'm going to answer in today's video. Hi, it's Troy Dooley, the Beachside CEO, and Transact just had their weekly update call. I'm really finding these informational because you're able to get a good feel where their co-founder Peter and Jarrod Moss, what they're thinking, where they're coming from. But you also get to hear Andreoli talk about the vision that he has for the field, and you get some pertinent information that when you start looking at it and piecing it all together from the beginning in 2021 to today, you start to see some shifts. And one of the big shifts that they announced, even though what Peter said was this was part of our original vision, what you're seeing is they have now teamed up with DL Wallace over at Simply Success to offer online training. Now I want you to, I've known DL for a long time. Matter of fact, good friend of mine, Peter Hirsch, who's now passed away, introduced me to DL. And DL's got a great platform. We're going to put a link up here so that you guys can actually go over to his platform, see what they're offering. TranzactCard is going to put this in the back. They're going to put it in there for their digital branch officers for training and education. And Peter said that this was so they could educate on financial topics. There's some good financial topics in the platform that DL has, but there's also a lot of soft skills over there. And truthfully, I think that could be beneficial for your digital branch officers. Where the question comes up is, if this is going to be a marketable product, is it something people will buy? And DL has tried to put this in several clients, including one of the first companies was one that I owned with some partners, and it just hasn't panned out correctly. I don't think it's the education. I think that companies try to use this for the wrong reason, is what they do. I know DL's got a passion for underprivileged, trying to give free education to people, trying to help veterans. So I appreciate that. And like I said, we'll put some links up for you to look at over there. A couple of the other things that I think are very pertinent came out of this was Jarrod Moss made it very clear that the bank is excited about the 10 policies that they've put into place that has to do with KYC, money laundering, really all along the lines of fraud. I personally like that. I think when you protect your house, that's one of those phrases I coined many years ago and everybody uses it now. But when you're protecting the house, that's from the top down, that's from inside and out. That's a smart move. What happens is when you start doing this with everyone, then people sometimes aren't approved for your company. You become a lot more exclusive. We see this in Prepaid Legal. We see it in World Financial Group, EXP Realty, Keller Williams, anywhere that's in a regulated industry, which we all know, banking, real estate, franchising, these are all terms that have been thrown out over the time by TranzactCard, all highly regulated industries. So adding these to it is phenomenal. One of the other things, they did not announce the bank partner, and people are still up in arms. They don't like the non-transparency and all that stuff. I don't have a problem with that. Having been in the industry 45 years as an advisor and a consultant and a company owner and an equity owner, board member over the last 23, man, as soon as you name your strategic partners, their websites get lit up, critics, reps, it doesn't matter what it is. So I understand keeping that under wraps as long as they can. But what they did make very clear is that they're in the process now where they're going to start onboarding accounts. All of the corporate accounts are going to go there first. Then from the corporate accounts are going to come the top leaders accounts, and then from the top leaders accounts, the rank and file basically. It just flows downhill. That's going to be a positive thing. They're still promoting that it's going to be done in December. I think that's a tough one to bite off personally. You're getting into the last couple of weeks of the month. Most companies start to slow down and prepare for 2024. Even in the financial service arena, I've walked into my bank and the president or vice president of my bank is actually working on the line because they've let their people go for the day. and say, look, you've got to go be a family. You've got to get your shopping done, etc. So that could be a big bite there. I talked about this in the last video we did on Transact. One of my dear friends, Brent Standing, is the new Chief Technical Officer of TranzactCard. And one of the big critical complaints has been that the system hasn't been the way it's supposed to be. It's not working as robust. Brent, 100% faith in him. I reached out to him and said, hey, is there any way you and I could do an interview? Will the board allow you to do an interview with me? And he said, look, I'm going to ask them, but right now, Troy, I'm knee deep just getting this stuff all put together. There's a lot of moving parts over there. And I just got off the phone. Harry Wilkes, dear friend of mine, a mentor of mine, a legend in network marketing, said, Troy, is it time for me to join? And I said, I can't tell you that. I said, I think right now it's a little tough for you to be able to get momentum, Harry, with what you're trying to do, because he builds his business a little bit different than most people do. I said, you know, you've got to get everything running first. You've got to be able to get yourself in there, make sure you understand it, make sure you're happy with it, then go for it. I said, so you know, you're already in the network, you're already checking stuff out, stay plugged in, but my advice to you would be to hold off, man. Enjoy December, see where it's going to be. And he chuckles. Man, he's great. I believe he's in his 80s now. And he said, you know, he goes, if it's a good deal, I thought this was profound, so think this one through. He said, Troy, I've learned if it's a good deal today, it'll be a good deal in 6 months. It'll be a good deal in 2 years. It'll be a good deal, period, because that's the way the company built it. And I definitely think that's a win straight across the board. So stay tuned. We're going to see where this goes. It's a big cookie to eat. Let me just say that. You've got banking, you got franchising in there somewhere in 2024 or beyond. They've talked about real estate investment REITs. That's another highly regulated deal. They talked about millions of SKUs that are going to be in the platform. Just getting that put together right with your APIs, with all of your partners. Man, that's just tough. Look at what Amazon was always having issues for many moons. They stuck it out, and we see where they are today. That could be TranzactCard. They could be the next Amazon build, if you will, but we just don't know. So if you're looking to say, I'm going to go with gangbusters, and I'm going to go and I'm going to build this, send me a DM. I'm not part of TranzactCard. I have lots of friends that could lead you in the right direction over there. They could answer questions that I'm not going to be able to answer. I'm not a sold out fanatic of TranzactCards. Love direct sales, love network marketing, love it when a company starts to do stuff outside the box like TranzactCard is doing, but it isn't a company that I would say I'm ready to join. I wouldn't do that personally. There are some companies, man, their infrastructure, everything's right, I'd go. This one's not. So you need to go in eyes wide open. If you're someone that usually doesn't buy a product or a service until 2 or 3 years down the road because you want to make sure there's no bugs in it, don't join. But if you're one of these people that's an innovator, you're an early adapter, you're a pioneer, you were the first one in line to get the brand new Apple 15 Pro Max with the super watch with GPS and all that, join. This is your kind of company. That's what I'd say. So guys, that's all we have on this one. Our next couple of videos will be on a different company. I think you guys might want to stay tuned, see what that one's about. Listen, if you're in any type of business, take your time to do it right. Take your time to become a student of that business and give it everything that you've got. But don't go in it as a hobby, halfway, stuff like that. It just won't work. You've got to dig deep if you're going to make this work. It doesn't matter if it's TranzactCard or something else. So live life like it's an epic adventure, and we'll see you on the next one.